So week one of my CrossFit training has completed. Today was my fourth class in 8 days. So I decided to do every other. I was going to do 2 on and then 1 or 2 off. But being that I'm just starting out, I figure, starting out again, I figure just do 1 and then rest, or do some type of stretching or running the following day rather than a full-on class. The classes have been good. The trainers are very good. They focus on the form of the exercises that you're doing. They talk them through. They really focus on doing it correctly and not just only about the speed and the weight, although that's important as well. The classes weren't too difficult. Most of the movements were ones that I knew already, so that was helpful. In terms of weight, it was interesting because there were 2 times where I was given the weight that I should be using rather than allowing myself to choose it. And both those times it was because I was a guy and the women were given lower weights and the guys were given higher weights. And one time I opposed that and I used the lighter weight for the first round, and then the second round I used the weight that the trainer recommended. And I get it. They see the difference in size of each individual, and but it's funny because when I posted last week about doing this, one of the biggest recommendations or suggestions that I was given was to not go in too hard too fast. And for me, one of those aspects is using more weight than I need to. I think just doing the motions with any weight is helpful, fit, and healthy, so I don't really need to push it too hard. So it was interesting because the amount of weight they gave me was more than I would have chosen. It didn't hurt me. I didn't feel pain at the time or afterwards, but I think being that it was my first week, I should have been able to choose that, and just really my focus was just trying to learn the motions and go through it accurately. But other than that, everything was great. Like I said, the amount of weight that I used didn't push me. I mean, it was literally like 5 pounds different than what I would have chosen. So I was starting out with lower weights. Like for instance, one of them was like a ball toss with one of those bigger balls. So yeah, it's just when you're doing an exercise like that, you want to make sure that you're doing it correctly, that you're coming out of the squat and throwing it up on the wall, hitting your target, rather than choosing a weight that's going to be coming down on you harder and that you're going to fall or drop it. So like I said, I was really trying to focus on doing that correctly, and I did. I dropped it a couple of times, but it was fun. And in terms of achiness, yeah, there were 2 days where the following day I felt a little sore, but nothing that I couldn't push through, or nothing that felt like it was hurting me or that I did too much the day before. So I think that the pace that I've chosen has been pretty good for me, and I'm going to keep at it. So like I said, today was day 8, so it was the 4th class, so this is really the start of week 2. So I did 3 classes last week. I'm going to do at least 3 this week. I might do 4. It depends on how difficult the class was. Last week the middle class wasn't that difficult, but I couldn't go to another class on 2 of the days. So this week, if I do have an easy class, maybe I will go to a class the following day rather than taking the day off. But I do like the pace that I'm going, and it's similar to what I've done before with regular boot camp. We haven't really gotten into using heavy weights, so I like that. Yeah, maybe a few weeks in, I'll